WNBA players deserve to make more money. If what I just said triggered you, continue watching. Don't worry, I'll prove you wrong. And if what I just said made you agree and you want to argue that point with somebody that is probably triggered by it, well, I'm your girl. Today, I'm going to be explaining to you why WNBA players deserve to make more money. My name is Mariah, and welcome to the Hoops for Hotties podcast, the one and only sports podcast where I explain everything going on for the girls, the gays, the days, and the straight men who don't admit they don't know anything about sports. I'm so excited because I'm coming off of a big WNBA week defending WNBA players. I did a video with House of Highlights called One Fan versus 10 Haters, and it was an insane experience. To very quickly recap that for you, House of Highlights and I have a relationship, and they asked me, hey, as part of our collaboration, would you like to come in and do One Fan versus 10 Haters? I could choose any athlete, and I chose Angel Reese because Angel Reese haters make me the maddest. I think that she's so talented and so undeserving of a lot of the hate that she gets. It really triggers me and mirrors a lot of the hate that Black women get in other areas of media, a lot of the hate that I get in my media career. And so I really wanted to take that opportunity to stand up for her. I was definitely scared going in because I've never done anything debate like in my life. And debate is a huge part of sports commentary, and that is my lane and my job. And if I can't debate, I don't really have a long future in this business. So I went out there for the first time ever, did something that makes me extremely uncomfortable. And I'm really proud of myself. I won the debate, of course. I came in with facts. I did not know what any of the people were going to say. I've been watching those videos for years, like on Jubilee and stuff. And I always wondered if the people were paid actors or just influencers looking to expand their brands. No, there is a casting team that literally casts these Angel Reese haters. They're real Angel Reese haters. It's not fake, no bullshit. They mean it and they take it very seriously. And so I came in thinking like an Angel Reese hater and just thinking what would they say back to me and what would I respond to that. And so I brought my facts and I went in, and it was so much fun. I was recording for probably 3 hours, I want to say, if not more. And the video is an hour and 15 minutes long, so they cut some parts out for sure. But it was unlike anything I've ever experienced. My sister told me she doesn't know how I didn't cry, and my mom was there. It's like the first work thing she's really come to, and it was 10 people yelling at me all at once about Angel Reese. So I'm proud of how I did. Angel Reese shouted me out. And so, in the spirit of defending WNBA players all week, I want to get into the WNBA expanding. They announced they're going to expand to 18 teams by 2030, which is huge. There's 13 WNBA teams currently. And with the expansion, I think it's important to bring back up the conversation that they deserve more money. Now, the main thing that I hear when it comes to WNBA players not deserving their money or fair share is the fact that the WNBA loses money every single year. First of all, the WNBA, quote unquote, losing money every single year. The figure that they're referring to was in 2024, the WNBA was projected to lose $50 million that year, which is a lot of money, right? But this is very common of newer sports leagues. The WNBA just came to be in 1996. The NBA has been around since 1946 and had plenty of early financial struggles. And it wasn't until Bird and Magic, Larry Bird and Magic Johnson coming in, having a bit of a rivalry that was projected on based on their race. People projected their own racial biases onto the two of them. The media made it a huge thing, and they were so talented playing high stakes games against each other. And that allowed for the NBA to cross over into that threshold of being profitable. Same thing with the MLS, the Major Soccer League. Not profitable for years and years and years. They were also founded in 1993, 3 years before the WNBA, and fully started in 1996. So that's a better comparison. And that league's financial situation began to improve with strategic initiatives such as the introduction of the designated player rule in 2007, which allowed teams to sign high-profile players like David Beckham. So based on what you just heard me say, most leagues start off not profitable for years. It could be decades. It could be a couple decades. It could be a few years, but it could be a long, long time. But the point is, just because a league is quote unquote losing money does not mean that that's their real valuations and that they're not bringing in a certain amount of revenue. The WNBA players are not asking for the money that NBA players make. They're not asking for anything ridiculous. They're asking for their revenue share to be adjusted. NBA players receive approximately 50% of the league's basketball-related income. 50% of all of the money that the National Basketball Association brings in regards to basketball goes to the players, the people who put the leagues on their back, and the league would be nothing without NBA players, okay? So they deserve that money, if not more. WNBA players currently receive about 9.3% of the league's revenue. Where's the rest of the money going? Y'all, come on. Let's get serious for a second. The WNBA is renegotiating their CBA, their collective bargaining agreement. And basically what that means is it's the paper that governs everything that happens around the WNBA regarding childcare, what happens when someone gets pregnant, regarding salary, regarding travel flights, everything that happens in the WNBA is outlined by this collective bargaining agreement. And they are currently renegotiating it. And it is a huge deal. And if the WNBA players decide this negotiation is going nowhere, they can decide to do a lockout, which means they can decide to basically go on strike and not play until they get what they feel that they deserve. The WNBA has experienced rapid growth since COVID. This has been driven by increased investment, rising visibility of women's athletes across sports, and expanded media coverage. League-wide marketing, social media, and storylines are pulling in new audiences, especially the story of Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark entering the league as rivals. I mean, it was poetic. The 13 current WNBA teams are valued at $3.5 billion, according to Sportico. The Golden State Valkyries, the 2025 expansion team, are already valued at $500 million. The owners of the Golden State Warriors paid a $50 million expansion fee to bring on the Golden State Valkyries. They've 10x their investment. And to show just how much this league has already grown in such a short period of time, the Golden State Valkyries cost $50 million as an expansion fee, right? The new teams, Cleveland, Detroit, and Philadelphia, are paying up to $250 million in expansion fees. I mean, that's 5 times what the Golden State Valkyries cost this year? And the league signed a new 11-year, $2.2 billion media rights deal. 2024 was the most watched WNBA regular season in history. On average, there was 1.2 million viewers across 24 national games. It was a plus 170% increase in viewership compared to 2023. The 2024 WNBA Finals averaged 2.15 million viewers, the most since 1999. In-arena attendance has increased across the board. The Valkyries have sold 10,000 plus season tickets, leading the league in early revenue, and they are expected to make $70 million in 2025. The Golden State Valkyries are projected to make $70 million in 2025, and the players are seeing less than 10% of that. And if they were playing in the NBA, they would be seeing half of that. Now do you see the problem? And to see the growth in the WNBA, let's just look at the 2025 AllStar Game votes. This absolutely amazed me. And when you put it in context like this, you're like, holy shit, this league is going nuts. Okay, so fan voting for the WNBA All-Star Game closed on June 28th, and the results were announced yesterday when I'm filming this, June 30th. Caitlin Clark obviously led the votes as she should. She is the face of the league with 1.2 million votes. Actually, it was 1,293,526 votes. So if we're doing math correctly, that's 1.3 million votes, right? Nafisa Collier was second overall in voting, 1.2 million votes. Caitlin Clark and Nafisa Collier will serve as captains, and they will draft their All-Star teams on July 8th, and the All-Star Game takes place on July 19th in Indianapolis. I would tell you to watch it, but you probably already will, because the way that the viewership is increasing, it seems like that's going to be the case. Okay, to put this in context, right? Caitlin Clark had 1.3 million votes alone. In 2023, the top vote getter was A'ja Wilson. She had 95,000 votes. 95,000 votes. The top 30 players combined had 1.17 million votes combined. Both Caitlin Clark and Nafisa Collier received more than that in 2025 each. During first returns, Kayla McBride had 44,000 votes, which put her in 40th place this year, right? She would have led all voters in first returns in 2023. She would have been number one, and she's 40th this year. Caitlin Clark had 216,000 votes last year in 2024. In 2025, she had 1.3 million. She got 6 times the votes this year that she did last year. 6x'd her votes from last year. Do you know how insane that is? I can't. The thing I want you to take away from this is that fan engagement has exploded from year to year, and it's only going to continue. Juju Watkins ain't even in the league yet. And shout out to Caitlin Clark because her popularity is really helping the league grow. Her games are always home games. They're always sold out. I went to see her play in Atlanta. It was absolutely lit. I'm a huge fan of hers. The current collective bargaining agreement is being renegotiated in 2025. And the key player demands are higher salaries. On average, WNBA players are making $148,000 a year. The Supermax contract is $242,000 a year. NBA players roll that amount of money up into tissues and sneeze into it. Yeah. They want guaranteed charter flights. It was introduced in 2024, but it wasn't yet permanent, which is definitely a bargaining chip by the commissioner. I learned from talking to WNBA players in my media work that the WNBA will do little things like announce to us, the public, that they're chartering flights, right? We're chartering flights and we're partnering with Delta, but they don't quite charter flights to every single team. But they don't tell us that, right? And they don't make it a permanent thing. And they don't put it in writing. But to us, it looks like, oh my God, why are these WNBA players asking for so much? I mean, you got charter flights, you're getting expansion teams. But do you know that WNBA teams pretty much usually only have enough players to scrimmage with no subs? If 3 players get hurt, they have like 7 players on the roster and have to go sign hardship contracts and find people to join their team. A professional women's basketball league has to do that. They need more roster spots. Most teams still carry only 11 players. Some teams have 10, some teams have 12. While revenue sharing has improved, to up to 20%, NBA players still get 50. They want that number to go up. Here's the thing, guys. The WNBA's growth is player-driven, 100%. Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, and other stars are directly responsible for the surge in media coverage. The WNBA was able to sign that $2 billion media deal because of these players. And Clark alone led jersey sales and can't even make money off of her jersey sales. Also, I hear a lot of criticism for WNBA players like an Angel Reese or maybe even like a Cameron Brink for doing so much off the basketball court. And to that I say, how the hell are they supposed to earn money? The WNBA's business is scaling up quickly, but the compensation is still stuck in the pre-growth era. If the WNBA is going to increasingly expand and grow and earn more and do more and add more games and ask of more from their players, the compensation needs to match the workload. And shared success, because the WNBA is sharing the success with their players, means that there needs to be shared revenue. Period. Hopefully, I was able to convince you that WNBA players deserve more money. If you don't think so, I won't lose sleep at night. I don't give a shit. But thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe to the Hoops for Hotties podcast for more videos like this one, and comment below what you want to hear me talk about next. Bye.